to the matter. 2 workers died and 29 others were injured in the incident. The minister has released the results of a 3-year investigation into the tragedy.
Minister Oliphant wants to set an example. Her department found deliberate contraventions of health and safety laws at the Tongaat Mall construction site. One of the consequences was the poor construction of Beam 7, which triggered the deadly collapse.
The statutory non-compliance include the following: lack of supervision of construction work by competent persons, failure to appoint a competent persons to supervise construction work, lack of knowledge to execute the complex interdependent structure, failure to prepare and work from formwork drawings, failure to conduct and analysis concrete tube test results, defective material, poor construction method.
The department is determined to tighten laws governing the construction industry. The inquiry revealed that close to 500,000 construction workers are at risk due to widespread non-compliance with laws and regulations. It also appears that there are too many loopholes in current legislation.
You're talking about millions of rands in terms of what the projects are worth. If the fine is 50,000, you can't feel it. But if the fine is stiff and there's a possibility of that employer going to jail, definitely they will think twice before they pick somebody from the street corners and give them a job without necessarily training them.
The department is finalizing its report and hopes to hand it over to the KZN Director of Public Prosecutions next month. Lukhanyo Khalada, SABC News, Parliament.
Parliament today insisted that those responsible for the collapse of African Bank be brought to book. The Reserve Bank briefed Parliament's Finance Committee on the report into the circumstances leading to African Bank being placed under curatorship.
The acquisition of Ellerins at almost 10 billion rand, the lack of independence of board members and unsecured lending were found to have contributed to the bank's collapse. African Bank was placed under curatorship in August 2014. Some opposition parties accused the Reserve Bank of being complicit in its collapse, but the bank says it had sounded the alarm on African Bank as far back as 2011 and put it under intensive supervision.
It did, however, admit to Parliament that lessons were learned. Deputy Reserve Bank Governor Nadu says the acquisition of Ellerins was approved with the understanding that due diligence had been implemented and that the board then signed off on it. Later, it turned out that the board never approved this. The Reserve Bank intends to sell its 5 billion rand stake once African Bank has stabilized.
Deputy Minister of Public Enterprises Bulelani Magwanishe is on a tour of the provinces to discuss the increasing Eskom debt faced by the municipalities. The